First question, Kelly Eco.
Hey, John, with this being the first kind of practice of the season with the whole team together, how did it go from just a holistic standpoint?
We had a couple of practices before with the whole team, but it was good. You know what I mean? We all know kind of the plays and stuff like that. We just all wanted to get acclimated to being with each other after they had two games on the road that we had to miss because of quarantine. And so it was good, and we're ready to play tomorrow.
Mark Berman.
John, how tough was it being out the first two games?
I was mad. I was hot. I ain't gonna cap. I was hot. I ain't gonna cap.
How did you deal with the downtime?
I couldn't do nothing. Just try to stay in condition as much as I possibly could inside my apartment, and just stay locked into watching basketball games and chilling. That's all I really could do. I couldn't do much.
Brandon Scott.
So, John, were you able to learn anything about the team in your absence, and what were some of those things that stood out to you about the team while you were away?
Well, I already knew we had a lot of talent over here. Just to see us even be in the game against Portland and also be in the game up until halftime against Denver with 4 or 5 key missing pieces to our team out, that lets us know how good of a team we are. We know how special James is, and Christian Woods played well, and all the other guys that stepped in and made key parts. So we're just happy to have everybody all together at one.
And also, what do you think guys like you and Eric Gordon can add to y'all's defensive effort?
Oh, well, we both could compete at a high level. A lot of people know I can defend at a high level when I'm healthy. You're definitely going to see that this year. And Eric Gordon's a great defender. I think he's underrated for a lot of things he do on the offensive end and defensive end. And we're just going to go in there and fill in those gaps that we were missing in.
Adam Spolin.
John, how much does missing a week set an athlete back?
Not me. The way I'm locked in, the way I've been preparing myself for this comeback for 2 years, nothing's going to set me back. I was able to get some work in on the low and do the things I needed to. So I'm prepared. I'm locked in. All it's going to take for me is missing and making shots, all reality. But in the day, that's not how I determine my game. I can get rebounds. I can get assists. I can lock people up on the other end. I can get steals. So my game's not predicated on just scoring, but I just going to go out there and make the right plays and do the right things to help our team win.
Saman Ali.
John, what did you learn about the team when you were out watching those games?
Like I said earlier, we're very talented. I mean, when we go out there and compete at a high level and give a lot of effort, we could be a good team. That's all I really could look at it from that standpoint. We already knew how these guys compete every day in practice and how we try to make each other better because we play a lot of one-on-one and 5-on-5 and compete.
Kelly Eco.
John, from the film from the first 2 games, how have you been impressed with the guys like Sterling Brown, Tate, and David Waba?
Me seeing them all through training camp and preseason, I knew those guys could play. I watched Sterling a lot since he was in Milwaukee, and Tate, I watched him a lot at the Ohio State, and see him. He plays with a mode. He's athletic. He's like an undersized 4 in this league now, but he plays with a lot of mode. He's strong and athletic. So I kind of knew what those guys was capable of. We just didn't see it in the real game yet, except for preseason.
Kyle Draper.
Hey, John, you mentioned doing conditioning during your time in quarantine. What kind of things did you do? How do you do that when you're on lockdown like that?
Run stairs, ride the bike. That's really it.
Do you think, John, that doing that can prepare you, I guess, as best as possible for an NBA game? Like, how do you think that actually helps you out?
Well, I already was in shape going into our first game. So I just wanted to keep my stamina up there. I mean, nothing's going to ever simulate a real game. I just wanted to keep my energy up there. And my win was still going to be there no matter what. So, just going out there and compete at a high level against very talented players in the NBA.
Jonathan Fagan.
John, people always talk about chemistry as if it's only an offensive thing. How much does this team need its time together for the defensive end to get to the level that you want it to be? Or does that happen once you guys are all back tomorrow?
Well, we got a lot of veterans and a lot of great guys that's good individually defensively. We're just getting our concepts down pat. I mean, we worked on that a lot today. It's just drilling in on our concepts and understand when to switch, when not to switch, or when to be in this type of coverage or not. So the main thing about defense, no matter what, if you got chemistry or not, is communicate. You see the great defensive team, the nights they don't communicate, the night it don't end well for them. So the main thing for us is no matter what, we go out there and play hard and communicate, we'll be fine.
Thank you.
And last question, Brandon Scott.
John, you said earlier that you were hot about being out. What was the most frustrating part about it?
Well, I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was get a haircut in my apartment. And somebody, one of the teammates had tested positive the next day. And then the next 6 or 7 days, the next like 4 or 5 tests I had all came back negative. So it was like, I was with me and 3 people getting a haircut. Like, I can't get a haircut. I'd rather cut in my apartment than be in a barbershop somewhere where random people was coming in constantly. And then even the barber tested negative. So that was a frustrating thing because I was getting ready for a shoot around that had just worked out. And I came back there, like, you got to get out the court. You got to go home for 7 days in quarantine. I'm like, what? So that was it.
Thank you, John. We
All right,
appreciate
y'all
it.
be easy.